Hey 8th grade, today we're talking thermal energy and temperature. Our goals here to define what thermal energy is, temperature, and how it relates to matter. Thermal energy is the total kinetic energy of the moving particles, that is, the energy of motion of the molecules in a substance. All matter has thermal energy, even if it feels cold. So all particles are in constant motion until you hit absolute zero. Then we're not quite sure what happens, so we're going to ignore that for our purposes. So thermal energy, again, is the total amount of the energy of motion of the particles in that substance. Temperature, however, is the average kinetic energy of the particles of matter as compared to thermal energy, which is the total kinetic energy of the particles. So to illustrate, which of these has more thermal energy? Well, that's an easier question. Which of these has a higher temperature? Hopefully, it's the pot of soup on the left. Otherwise, that poor woman is in deep trouble. That temperature in the pot is probably close to 100 degrees Celsius, whereas that tub is probably a comfy, 30 degrees Celsius. However, which of those has more thermal energy? Thermal energy is the total kinetic energy of the particles in a sample. There are a lot more particles of water in a hot tub than there are in a little pot of boiling down soup. So that means the hot tub has more thermal energy than the pot because it has more particles. The pot has a greater temperature because there's a greater average motion. Temperature is the average kinetic energy. Thermal energy is the total kinetic energy. So the bigger your sample, the more kinetic energy you have. I'll post a link to a reading to help clarify if that wasn't clear. So coming soon, we're going to continue working on our passively cooled houses, which take advantage of the properties of thermal energy. And we're going to test how temperature affects mass. So what does happen to mass as temperature changes? What happens to mass as matter changes state? Hope you guys have a great long weekend, and I will see you on Tuesday.